morning. It is 8:03. Apologies, just a couple of seconds running late. Frankly, you may recall, we got completely new hardware, new computer systems, and an issue had popped up this morning, and have been trying to work on that for a while, and I just figured a part of it out. So forgive me for being a few seconds tardy. But at any rate, it's Wednesday. It is April 30th. And this is Coffee Talk. Hope you're having a great start to the day. I'm WESH 2 First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world weather, with a few exceptions here and there. But we try to get together 7 days a week. It's pretty, isn't it? Look at that. Daytona Beach. Oh, breathe in that salt air. It is a beautiful morning. And I think, golly, more than ever, we just need to know that life is beautiful. We just need to remind ourselves of this constantly, no matter what, the good, the bad in life. Life is beautiful. It is a gift. First warning, live Doppler radar scanning, not finding anything. Gotta love that. Temperatures, there's another issue. It's not 86 in Orlando. Have to get that worked out today. All right, hold on. There we go. 68 in Orlando right now, 61 in the Villages, 65 outside in Ocala. So it's a beautiful start to the day. We know the forecast today is going to be gorgeous. Nice breezy day, east 10, 15, 20 miles an hour. Temperatures climbing into the mid-range of the 80s. And it looks like it's going to be a nice and dry day for us. High temperatures right about where they should be-ish, right? 86 in Orlando, 88 degrees our high temperature in Ocala. We'll be at about 82 degrees today in DeLand, upper 70s over in Titusville. So it looks like a pretty good one. It looks like a pretty good one. But, my friends, looking ahead to the weekend, shower thunderstorm coverage starts to increase. Rains start to spread. We are going to have some changes in our forecast. You ready for it? Are ya? I mean, technically, we're roughly 28 days away from the rainy season. We know that we're not there yet. Things continue to get drier and drier and drier. And as a matter of fact, if we look at the satellite and radar composite across the southeastern United States, there are storms north of us. There are storms west of us. You see near Texas. But over Florida, things continue to look absolutely, absolutely beautiful. It's a quiet setup for us here in the Sunshine State. Some clouds sneaking in from the Atlantic waters, but that's all we've got. So we are looking good. Now, that said, let's dial in our 7-day forecast together here, okay? Because while we start off lovely, notice Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, rain chances are starting to rise, okay? And not only that, but there's some interesting stuff to look at on the models, okay? So let's do that. Wrong button. Let's go right over here, and let's take a look at the models together, okay? This is the American GFS model. This looks at pressure, high pressure, low pressure, that sort of thing, okay? We're currently under high pressure. No surprise there, right? We know this. It's dry. It's beautiful. Through time, high pressure starts to fade Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's going to allow the opportunity to bring in a little bit of rainfall. Notice this weekend into early next week, you start to see some blue shades. Those blue shades over top of us mean lowered pressure. With lowered pressure, think of it like the shower drain, right? Lowered pressure, we're able to bring down some moisture. So we're looking at the opportunity for some rainfall, okay? While that's happening, you almost see like a little area of low pressure it's called a vortmax, a vorticity maximum, just off of like Flagler, St. Johns counties. 10, 12 low. Not a significant low, but a low nonetheless. That's May the 5th. Something there. Interesting. But then we start to see more and more greens. That's lowering pressure. That's opportunities for rainfall. All right, around May the 8th. Okay. Interesting stuff. Lowering pressure there. And then at the very end, like the 15th or so, we start to watch pressures lowering in the Gulf of Mexico. Even there, for example, that's May the 11th over near Louisiana. Now, let me do this. I'm going to take it back. Let's go. That's the 6Z run. Let's look at the 0Z run of the GFS. Lowering pressures out near South Florida, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, the Turks and Caicos around May 8th. And then we start to watch for some lowered pressure around the Florida Panhandle. Let's go and take it back another model run. Let's go to the 18Z from yesterday. High pressure fades. Start to watch lowered pressures around South Florida. And then from there, tried yesterday to pop something up around Louisiana, Mississippi. And what is that, a 995 millibar low? We go to the 12Z, and it's got lowered pressure, but nothing significant. So you've got one run trying to do something interesting out in the Gulf. You go 2 runs ago, and it's kind of got broad low pressure, but nothing specific. And then the current run of the GFS, trying to show a weak piece of low pressure around Louisiana around May 11th. I want to point out, I'm not trying to, if you know me, you know I'm not a hyper, okay? Wesh.com. Let's look at the hurricane forecast together. I'm not forecasting a hurricane. However, remember, using our long-range forecasting, which includes teleconnections, okay, which includes hints around at hints for the future. Let's load the hurricane forecast. This is the wesh.com article. Okay, we published this in February. All right. And I want to look at a part of this weather pattern. The October 20th low. Okay. I'll even make it bigger. Let's make it bigger so that it's as legible as is possible. The October 20th low. Okay. Look at those hotspot areas. This is right off the website, by the way. Look at those hotspot areas. Okay. And get an idea. Kind of the northern Gulf Coast, Louisiana through the Big Bend, and then there was even a piece of it around South Florida. Look at the dates. Now again, I'm not saying it's going to hurricane, but we're watching these areas around that time frame because we know using the teleconnections, using the long-range cycling, we know there should be activity in those areas there. Okay? So again, we come back to the model data. That's Sunday, May 11th. If we go back at all, where was it before? It was around South Florida, and then it's starting to show some sort of an area of low pressure. Not intense, but some sort of an area of low pressure around Louisiana. And if you look, it was South Florida, and it was around Louisiana. And look at the positioning of everything on our cycling here. South Florida and the northern Gulf Coast. And again, that time frame, May 10th through the 15th, that's May 11th. There's Louisiana, okay? Why am I pointing this out? Because it's another hint. It's another hint pushing through hurricane season that this northern Gulf low part of the pattern may be an active part of the pattern. Those dates displayed May 10th through the 15th, certainly we're not at the moment at least expecting hurricaning, right? Like clearly. But the models are at least trying to show lowering pressure in the spots we would suspect and in the time frames we would suspect. So it's worth mentioning so that we know this part of the weather pattern is recycling. This part of the weather pattern is capturing my attention. So June 18th through the 24th, July 29th through August 4th, and perhaps the most important part, September 8th through the 15th. Those are going to be time frames we're absolutely going to need to be watching. Okay? Questions, comments, concerns. Okay, that's all the GFS. And again, I would point out that the current, like, there's the low over Louisiana right now. The GFS is not showing anything significant at the moment. We go back one model run to the 0Z, and it kind of had like Florida Panhandle area. We go to the 18Z. It was the 18Z that was like doing something weird. It was, I mean, it was 994, 993. The 18Z yesterday was feisty. Thankfully, the GFS has gone away from that. Now let's look at the European model. Let's dial that in. All right, showing pressures lowering over Florida May 5th. That makes sense. Showing lowered pressure, nothing of a tropical nature, but showing lowered pressures around that area in that time frame. Nothing specific. Well, at the end there, around the 14th, it's trying to show something in the Gulf, right? Nothing deep, 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 but something interesting there. All right, let's look at the European AI model. Lower pressure May 5th. It's got something around Mississippi, Alabama around the 9th. And then deepening around the 12th, 13th. Yeah. So, and then something way east as well. Kind of interesting stuff, right? And I'm not showing this in any way, shape, or form to freak you out or to hype. But we do long range forecasting. That's what we do, and I want to make sure that you see it. Okay. So that said, just as we had discussed for a while, we'll look at the BSR, by the way, in a couple of minutes. But just so that you know, right? Like we have talked about how entering into May, the pattern was going to get wetter. There you are. Okay. Does that make a lick of sense? Everybody understand? By the way, if you're curious about my long range forecast, if you head to wesh.com and you look for the Hurricane Forecast 2025, you'll see it all there. It'll be published, etc., 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 etc. Coastal 7-day forecast. I got you, Gail. Here's a look at it. Looking nice, but you can see those rain chances really rising this weekend into early next week. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of where we're at. I feel like there should be a sponsor up. It's like I feel like I'm landmining all over the place with this new weather computer. I feel like hold on, I need to change computers. It's 8:16. Why is there not a sponsor? Let me log into the task scheduler. What is it? It's 8:16. Where be an 8 a.m. sponsor? Next runtime is May the 1st. Last runtime was 4:30 and it completed successfully. Okay. It's set, so maybe I don't have one at 8:15. So at 8:23. So remind me at 8:23 a sponsor should pop up. Okay, just trying to figure it all out. All right, Diane says April showers bring May flowers, but what do May showers bring? I don't know. We should ask Justin because it's gonna be May. I don't know. It's gonna be May. All right. Questions? James is asking, are the weekend days a washout or typical Florida storms? You know, it's a little early, right? What is it? It's Wednesday. I mean, we can look at let's see here. So this is the American model. So there's Sunday, and you can kind of see this moisture working in, right? So Saturday doesn't look as wet. Yeah. So Saturday into about Wednesday, we're just looking at a wetter pattern. Going to enjoy beautiful weather this morning and take the Munchkin to SeaWorld for a few hours. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, thank you, Tara. Thank you. Thank you. So, the GFS versus the Euro, they're both showing opportunities for rain. Like, for example, here's Saturday. You see the Euro is a little wetter on Saturday. Sunday, more of that moisture kind of sneaking on in. Basically, it's an overall wetter pattern, okay? So heavier rains for parts of Central Florida. When we look at the computer models to give us an idea, you know, um, did that? I just need to look. Did that update from Saturday? Okay, that did update. So the euro. Okay, sorry, I'm just checking to see if this works. Tim, I hope you're okay, buddy. Everything okay? So back to the model. So the European is going with a higher coverage of rain, but a lower intensity of rain. The lighter to deeper greens showing an inch or less, whereas the American GFS is saying in some spots we could see 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain these next couple of days. So we're absolutely on our way to at least some help. Is it going to be a significant drought buster help? Remains to be seen. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Questions, comments, concerns. Jeannie Rowan, the possibilities are endless. All seems well. Okay, Tim, as long as all seems well. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Oh, Catherine, they were the defending champions. Jamie, did you do anything special for your birthday? I worked. I took the morning off of coffee talk, but I worked. That's all. Thank you, Debbie. This is 41. That's all. Diane's asking, will this be the start of the rainy season? Probably not. Right? We know that the rainy season. Okay, so the rainy season, what are we looking for the rainy season? Cold front stop, morning dew points rise into the upper 60s to 70 degrees. I don't know that it's going to be the full on end to the dry season just yet. It's definitely working in that direction, right? But the earliest onset to the rainy season ever was May 3rd in Daytona Beach, May 5th in Orlando. So, do I think that we're going to be the earliest ever this year? Probably not. You know? Yeah, that's where we're at. We missed you. Lots of birthday wishes on our coffee talk page for you. I read them. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was thank you. I feel it. I feel it in my heart. I absolutely feel it in my heart. I hope you enjoyed your morning without us. I 823. All right, let's check. Thank you. Thank you. Checking the sponsor. I just need to make sure. Listen, we live in a world where I got to pay the bills, and sponsors are a thing. All right. Got the 7 day. Theoretically, we should have a sponsor pop on in 15 seconds. Hold on one second. I'm texting Kellyanne about these computer issues. Okay. Okay. It worked. Okay. Okay. We have a sponsor. This is the kind of stuff you don't realize that we have to do though. Like those sponsors, it's become a part. I have to add today a sponsor to our tower cams. Like it's just a part of TV's changing and we have to make the money. I don't make any money on coffee talk, but putting a sponsor on a weather graphic is what it is, you know? Hold on one second. I'm just sending a note to the boss as well about the sponsors. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm so sorry. Okay. Who is OUC? They're the reliable one. Orlando Utilities Commission. Carlos, when will we see the new guy? Had a couple meetings about that yesterday. I still don't have an answer for you on that one. Oliver, computer issues is a big brother keeping tabs on you? No, but we switched to completely new computers, which these things are lightning fast. But it's a matter of network shares and permissions and all that stuff. So yeah, look at all that glorious rain. Look at all that glorious rain. It's great, isn't it? Man, it's nice. How about us not sponsoring anything tropical this year? So we have sponsorships on our cone graphics. But we've had that for years. Listen, TV's different. And you know what's wild is like I've we have so many we have sponsors changing every couple minutes. Like when's the next sponsorship change? Let me look in my task here. 8:30. So 8:30 a.m. So um in 5 minutes that sponsor should change. Literally, it's like every couple of minutes it changes around. I'm not in the sales department. That's outside of my realm, but I just need to get these things on the air. So yeah. Kind of sponsored by taking a vacation to visit Kona, Hawaii coffee field. I would love coffee. Oh, I have coffee. Hold on. I can't wait to smell the rain, Patty says. Oh, me too. Golly, me too. Okay. The BSR. Jay, important question. MCO used to have a fix on the 1-8 left downwind named. How would Captain Eric Burris pronounce this? Approach controller said everyone mispronounced it. Twana? Listen, half of the problems I have flying instrument is clear direct the Twana intersection. You're like, spell that? So, Jay, Twana. Is it tuna? It could be tuna. Direct Barron intersection. Sheds T-Bird. All right, let's look at the BSR. So we've got the rain chances rising. We also know that there's some sort of an area of low pressure that some of the models are kind of starting to hint at in the Gulf. So need to start kind of looking. So let me pop up the BSR. Let me turn the model off. Refresh you. All right. Tijuana. Yeah, who knows? All right. Tuna. Yeah, most people say tuna makes sense. I don't know. Twana. I don't know. This is why I'm not Captain Eric Burris. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see. Little front there. What is that? That's the 23rd. Standby. That's the 10th. I mean, there's a hint at an area of low pressure there, Louisiana. It's not a low, but it's a it's an open tuna flat. There you go. Twana Flats. That's funny. I mean, there's right there. That's the area of low pressure showing up on the BSR. It's not a deep closed low, but there's definitely a trough. So it shows up. It shows up. And then there's another one there. What are you? That's around the 15th. I mean, the GFS is showing just broad lowered pressure kind of in that time frame. Yeah. It makes it that all makes total sense, right? Yeah, that makes total sense. Like just broad lowered pressure. So, I mean, it's showing up on the BSR. It's not a significant signal, nor do I think it would be a significant system at all, but it's something there, you know? What's the Hearst station in Columbus? What, like Columbus, Ohio? We don't have any. We've got Cincinnati, Ohio, and we've got Louisville, Kentucky, but we don't have Columbus. Oh, interesting, Elliot. I did not know that. I'm watching this to see if it at 8:30, which is in about 20 seconds, if the sponsorship changes. Chimichanga on taxi is always well. That's right. I'll take the fish. I'm just kidding. I don't eat fish. All right. So rain chances are rising. Questions, comments, concerns? At the end of the day, the indications are that there's gonna be an area of low pressure in the Gulf, northern side of the Gulf. All right, it disappeared. I have to look and see if it's supposed to disappear or not. See, this is the stuff like, is the file missing? That kind of stuff. I'll do that later. I'm not going to bother you guys about it. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? We good? Yeah? We good? Allison, I'm concerned that the sponsorship didn't change. It disappeared. So there was an action of change. I just have to go to make sure that this particular block is not sponsored. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. All right. All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you all later. Take care.